Okay, so in this video we're going to talk further about proportionality. So the question here is y squared proportional to x? Here's our data. If y squared is proportional to x, we know that y squared should always be equal to a constant times x. So y squared over x should always equal a constant. So let's do some calculations. If we do 7.2 divided by 3, we're going to get 2.40. If we do 14.3 divided by 6, we're going to get 2.38. If we do 21.5 divided by 9, we're going to get 2.38. Now, in this case, you could say that all these three constants here aren't all exactly the same. So you could argue that y squared isn't proportional to x. However, you could say that there's only a small difference in the constant each time, and that could well be down to experimental uncertainty. If these are real results taken in an experiment, it could be down to experimental uncertainty. So you could argue that y squared is proportional to x, particularly because if you round these to one decimal place, they're all the same anyway. Okay, so you've got to use a little bit of judgment here. If, let's say, this came out as 2.10 and this was 2.20 and this was 2.30, they're quite different then, so you could say then that that it isn't proportional. Okay, but if they're very close, like these, you could argue that they are proportional. Okay, right, one more. Let's have a little look at this. What about y? Is y proportional to 1 over x squared? So slightly different this time. Here's the data. Okay, so x squared and y. So for x squared, we've got 20, 40, oops, that's supposed to be 0, and 60. And for y, we've got 7.52, 3.75, and 2.51. So if this is true, y should be equal to k over x squared, a constant divided by x squared. And in that case, then, y multiplied by x squared should equal a constant. So let's do the calculations. 20 times 7.52 is going to equal 150.4. 40 multiplied by 3.75 is going to equal 150.0. And 60 multiplied by 2.51 is going to equal 150.6. Now again, they're not exactly equal, these, but they're very close. So again, you could argue that within the bounds of experimental uncertainty, this does hold true, that y is proportional to x squared. And you would just write that down and explain that to the examiner, that these constants are very close and the differences can be put down to experimental uncertainty. Okay, so that's that video.